Hey y'all. So I hope this doesn't get to be too long. But really, there's some things that have just been weighing on me real heavily lately. Um, Particularly since Jeff's surgery, and a few days later, or around the same time, I guess it was a couple days later, a good friend of mine passed who was just a little bit younger than me. Um, I'm not going to sit here and tell you a bunch of stories because we all got our, you know, life threatening stories, stupid things we've done. Um, Times where we almost killed ourselves, times where we almost killed somebody else. We did that, and that, you know, that appears to be, you talk to certain people, what our legacy is. But we're all doing something different now. We're all living a different way now. And I still I still got my things, and this is kind of what started me a little bit. Was I still carry around about 10 gallons of milk every step I take. I'm carrying 10 gallons of milk around my waist. That's not healthy. Now, I do exercise, but still carrying around 80 extra pounds is not healthy. I know we've all still kind of got our little hang-ups. But really what I want to share with y'all today is, and I've struggled with this for so long because I just know our stigma with it, just kind of how we were brought up. But I don't want, I love you guys. And I don't want us to spend the rest of our lives in hell. I don't want us to live the rest of our eternity in hell. I 100% believe the reason I'm alive today is because of the prayers that Granny said over my life every single day. And I think that goes a long way with all of us. But I'm going to tell y'all a story that I don't know if I've ever told y'all. I tell people, I'm not ashamed of it. I don't keep it a secret, but I don't know if I've told y'all. But the very last night I drank, I did something really, really stupid, and the cops beat me home. I was pulling into my street off Whispering Pines, and the cops were there waiting for me. And I was arrested. Crazy thing is, I wasn't arrested for DUI. I was arrested for other things. Should have been DUI, but it wasn't. So, anyway, long story short, I get to the jail, and I'm at the bottom of my drinking. I'm miserable. I'm not happy. I'm embarrassed. I'm ashamed. I have no friends. I'm married to somebody. We don't really have a relationship other than we both like to party real hard. I'm doing stupid things to see my kids. I am completely and utterly broken and ashamed. And I'm sitting in the Daphne jail cell. And I literally don't think that I was worthy to even lay on the bench that they had in there. So I went behind the wall and kind of laid underneath, next to the wall, back where I didn't lay right at the urinal, but close to the commode they had back there, and but really closer to the wall in the sink, to the divider in the sink. And I laid there and I just broke, and I just cried. And I didn't know if there was a God, who God was, if he gave a crap about me. I didn't know that. What I did know was that I never, ever, ever wanted to drink again. I never, ever wanted to drink again. And whatever that was that I needed to do right then, whatever it was, happened. And I prayed, and I was like, God, if you are there, if you are real, please, I don't ever, ever, ever want to drink again. I hated myself. I hated everything about me. And I laid there and I just cried, and I begged and I begged and I begged. And I watched what I now know, didn't know what it was then, but I watched the spirit leave my body. I watched a semblance of my being float away, left my body. I had no idea what that was. What I can tell you is that from that point on, I have not had one single desire to have a drink of alcohol. Not one single desire. Now, there's been a couple times where I've said, F it, I'm going. I had two friends die in the same day. Completely unrelated. One guy fell off his roof. And one guy just died my age, natural causes, in his bathtub. Craziest thing. That day I almost said, screw it. And then there was one other day that had to do with somebody else, and I almost said, screw it. And had I not called my sponsor, I may have gone back out, but I don't know. I really can't tell you. But what I can tell you is, since that night, January 17th, 2007, maybe it was Thursday morning, Friday morning, I don't even know. Whatever it was, that night, a spirit left my body, and the desire to drink left too. So what happened was I found, it took a few days, but I found an AA meeting, and I went nonstop. I went 90 meetings in 45 days. 145 meetings in 90 days. That's what it was, because you got to go 90 days, whatever. 145 meetings in 90 days. And what I did was I found God there, and I didn't know who he was. I still didn't know. And it took a while, and I had a couple friends invite me to church. I had been going around to a bunch of churches, and really it just felt like all they did was ask for money, and I just didn't love that. But I had a couple friends invite me to a church. And literally, the first 6 weeks I went, every Sunday, I bawled my eyes out. I was broken, y'all. I was broken. And I found God. I found Jesus. And I know this for a fact today, that Jesus saved my life. And I know for a fact today I'm going to live in heaven for eternity. What scares me to death is that y'all aren't. And I don't know, maybe you are. We haven't had these discussions. And if you are, thank God. But I'm going to make a commitment to change my legacy and what my last name means, and break the curses that are on our families about being late bloomers, about being this, about being that. Everything that's associated with Gillespie. Although there's a lot of great things, don't get me wrong. Gillespie's not bad. I'm just saying there are some things that I'm going to change. But my prayer, I'm going to pray fervently for you guys to please connect. Please do what you can to find Jesus, to find God. Find a church that you can connect with. Find people that you can connect with. I heard one of my pastors say one time, when he was saved, he was a roughneck Louisiana guy, and a lot of his friends were just, a lot of the people he knew were just like, you're crazy, man, whatever. And he told one of them one time, he says, I'd rather believe and be wrong than not believe and go to hell. That really struck me, because I'm like, what have you got to lose? You have everything to gain. What do you have to lose? And I struggle with this whole relationship of a man that you can't see, you can't touch, you can't feel, with a God you can't see, you can't touch. But I see it all the time. I see it in the miracles he said. I see it in Jeff's chest. I see it in my salvation. I see it in my curing of desire to drink. I see it all the time. One thing has struck me lately. Now, this has been 16 years now. But one thing that I've discovered lately is this series called The Chosen. And the first couple are, interesting to get through. You just have to get through them. But it really shows the man. It humanizes Jesus and makes him a human. It's somebody that I can relate to, that I can talk to, that I can pray with. So ultimately, I'm not beating you. I'm not going to beat you over the head with this. I'm not going to chase you down. I'm going to pray for you, and I'm going to love you unconditionally, pretty much like I always have. But I'm going to be here for you. And I just hope for you and your family's sake that you find God, and that you can spend eternity with him in heaven. And I hope this finds you. And if you, please call me, please text me, please just let me know. But right now, this is just for my siblings. I'm scared for y'all. I love y'all. And I'm praying for y'all. I love you.